In the garden, you always have some fails and some wins. And for example, a win for me right now is the tomatoes. They are doing so incredibly well. Just check this out. We have so many complete tomatoes. This is the sun gold variety. And then I have some red ones as well. And also the cucumbers are doing extremely good. But something that hasn't been going as good are the melons. Because one just fell off and one, cracked, as you can see right there. And I haven't gotten any flowers on the other ones. But at least I have this one and that one. Hopefully they're going to do well. And the catnip, for example, is going very good. I just cut it off. This was very, very tall and stuff like that. Now something that hasn't been going as good are, for example, the sunflowers here. They are just very, very small. And also the yellow onions I'm gonna show you. I planted like 20 or something, but we have like 1, 2, 3, we have like 10 or something here, which is not very good conversion rate, But these sunflowers look good, but they should be very much taller. And the corn looks very good. I hope that it's going to be able to put out some cobs once the time is in. Here we have something that is developing. But the biggest harvest of them all is the garlic. Look at this, bro. A lot of garlic, and hopefully this is going to last the entire year. I don't think so, but it's going to last a long time. And I'm going to plant this in the fall. Look at this giant garlic. But after having experienced some of these garden fails and wins, we have gotten giant harvests, also raspberries and strawberries, big harvest. What I've realized is that what you really want is to have a lot of harvest of just a few things that you really, really enjoy. That's something that I think that everybody should think about. Grow the things that you want to eat, that you eat, normally, and things that taste a lot better when you grow it yourself. For example, tomatoes taste so much better when you grow it yourself compared to buying it. But in my family, we've talked about growing potatoes, but my dad has always said that we shouldn't, because there are so many good potatoes that you can buy from the island that I live. I live on an island called Gotland. And here we have a lot of potato farms, so that's why he doesn't want to grow his own. It's kind of stupid, because they're so cheap, right? But I think that honestly we should grow as much food as we can, because then we can be more self-sufficient, and that is the key word. We want to be more self-sufficient, so we can, for example, if the supermarket, stops working or something, we can't get food over to this island, from the mainland Sweden, then we will have a big problem. But if we can grow our own food, then that is much, much better. Now, of course, flowers and stuff is very, very nice. I love growing these flowers. This is just a wild flower bed. And some trees, of course, for shade. And yeah, this is the willow trees. They are going very well. And we also have some apple trees. Apple trees are very good because you can also eat them, of course. Looking very nice. And here we have the raspberries, which are going very, very good. And if you just look at this field, he is currently combining with the Deutz-Fahr. Just think about this. If he doesn't have any diesel, then he can't do this. If he doesn't have any mineral fertilizer, he can't do this. Now, I'm not saying that the diesel may just run out, but we can have a lot of difficulties getting it to here and getting the food here. I don't want to get into geopolitics and stuff like that, but I believe that societies rise and they fall. And I think that we have had it very, very good right now. And I believe that we are on the brink of a pretty big fall. I'm not saying that, I'm just speculating, And with that said, I just feel like I have this drive inside of me that I want to grow my own food. Because then we can be more self-sufficient. We don't have to rely on other countries and the country. We can just rely on the garden that we have and the land that we have. And it doesn't have to be that hard. You can survive just growing potatoes because, potatoes have like all the nutrients that you really need to survive, almost. You may need to drink a little bit of milk. But if you just grow potatoes, then you can basically survive a long time. So just think about that. Now, you don't want to just eat potatoes, of course. You want to grow other things as well. And I think that the hardest part about becoming self-sufficient is not having any fresh fruits in the winter. That is something that will be very hard if I really go into this. But you have jams and you can preserve things in cans. And also, because we still have electricity, I can grow hydroponically in, for example, an NFT system inside, with grow lights. So we can have harvests even in the winter of maybe salad, and I could try to grow some small tomato varieties as well inside, or even a big one. If I just have a big enough light, then I can pull that off. But yeah, as self-sufficient me said, the YouTuber, you can't be self-sufficient in everything, but you can be self-sufficient in something. You can try, just try to be self-sufficient in one thing. That's the actionable step. For me right now, it's trying to be self-sufficient in garlic. We want to grow garlic so we can eat our own garlic the whole year. And what's good about garlic is that it lasts very well. You can just have it inside, like I have in this dry shed. You can just store it there for a long time. I don't know how long, but at least half a year, you know, just putting it in there. But you can preserve it in other ways as well. So my plan going forward, I know this can change and stuff like that, but my plan is to try to grow as much, you know, big things as possible. Just a lot of food. Even if it's very cheap to buy from the store. Just onions. I think in this bed I want to have onions and potatoes and garlic. Just a lot of volume things. And I'm going to ask the farmer, you know, the guy who is harvesting right now, for some cow manure, so I can just use things that are grown very close to me. You know, the cows are grown very close, so the nutrients can be reused, you know, which feels good, you know. So essentially, more of this, more of salad, more of this, more peas, but maybe less flowers. But you know, I have so much space, so I can just put in some more flowers where I want to. And also put flowers more because of pollination, not just because I want it to be very pretty. Although they are very pretty. Just look at this, man. This is so beautiful. Nature is really beautiful. Damn. And here we have some thyme. Very good for self-sufficiency, growing your own spices. Although, you know, you don't need as much volume. That is so small. But it's good to have spices if you want to eat potatoes every day. So that's basically it. So an actionable step can be to try to become self-sufficient in one thing. Start with one thing. Just try to grow as much of that as possible so you can survive off it alone. Or not survive, but so you don't have to buy that thing for a year. That would be so great, right? Just having your own food, yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. So with that said, good luck in the garden. I hope that you are inspired by this video and subscribe to see more. Goodbye.